Hey everyone, I'm Cippy.
And I'm Steve, and we'd like to introduce Andrew, movie critic extraordinaire. We just got out of
Thor Ragnarok.
Thor Ragnarok. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna start by having a spoiler-free review of just what we thought, and then we're gonna get deep into spoilers.
So if you haven't seen it yet, this part is safe.
Yes, but
This part is safe.
soon will not be safe. Okay, so Cippy, what did you think?
I really enjoyed it. I do think it is the. I was almost went into spoilers. That was close. No, I really liked the tone. I liked the direction that Taika took with it. I really enjoyed the action sequences. They were great. I do have to agree with some of the articles or reviews that I've said that a lot of the heart lies on Planet Hulk, not necessarily with the Ragnarok. But that wasn't necessarily a bad thing for me. So I did really enjoy it. I don't think it's the best Marvel film that's ever been made, but definitely enjoyable the whole time.
All right, Andrew, give us your thoughts.
Not the best Marvel film that's ever been made, certainly. But for me, I think it's definitely top 5, if not even top 3.
Wow, okay, you're putting it up there high.
It was pretty. We've talked a lot before about Marvel having kind of subgenres on their movies. And I love that they went all out for like broad comedy this time. And it worked for me. It was silly, but not like so over the top silly that it detracted from everything else that was going on. And it was kind of nice because it put its own unique stamp on the Marvel universe that is completely unlike any other Marvel movie.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay, well, so my thoughts are along the same line. I really, really enjoyed it. I thought that the comedy, I thought that, yeah, they really went hard with the comedy, but I also felt that it had great emotional moments. Some that really, for me personally, paid off heavily, where I was like, okay, that was amazing. And I also loved the design, because obviously Jack Kirby, for those of you out there who are watching this probably know who he is, his art style was so influential in Thor. And you saw it everywhere with just the circles and the squiggly line. I mean, that was his thing.
Especially with the Collector and all of his little colors and everything.
Yeah, the Grandmaster.
The Grandmaster, yes.
So those, okay, so 3 positive reviews.
Yeah, I think anybody could enjoy this movie. I really do. But if you watch all the other MCU movies, you're going to like it 10 times more.
Okay, speaking of, now let's get into spoiler cast. Spoiler cast.
Are you going to put a big spoiler
I will
cast
put a
up?
big spoiler cast
It
up.
is not, if you have not seen the movie, look at me, close-up camera. If you have not seen the movie, this is not safe. We are going into dangerous territory. Do you understand?
They understand.
Good.
Okay, so let's start out with...
Beta Ray Bill.
There was no Beta Ray.
Yes, there was.
Was that his face?
On the Grandmaster's tower when he's got the faces of
I was wondering if that was Beta Ray Bill.
Ray Bill.
Okay.
I was wondering about that.
So Beta Ray Bill
okay.
made it in the film.
That's not really a spoiler. Okay, I want to start talking about probably the biggest change, the loss of the eye.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay,
So you didn't
because
see
we were talking about this on the drive, but we cut ourselves off.
Yes.
That they showed some Avengers footage at San Diego Comic-Con, which none of us have seen. You can't see it anywhere. He was not missing an eye in that. So
Also-
I am betting that it was CG'd.
Also, during one of the trailers where Hela says, "What were you the god of again?" and it shows him on the bridge, both of his eyes
were there, yeah.
were there. So yeah, that was
Okay.
Yeah,
that was
so
tricky.
I think that Marvel is known as being a studio that purposely misleads.
Yes.
They did it with Ego in Guardians of the Galaxy, where when the press arrived to do their tour of the studio, they had a different name on the chair and all of the
didn't know
yes.
that.
And so when they walked by and they saw Kurt Russell sit down, all of them were like, "Oh, oh my gosh, they made a mistake," and it was purposeful just to screw with the press.
Huh. I didn't know that.
So yeah, so
to
I
go,
think
Gunn.
that obviously I'm sure that they will digitally put the eye patch on or whatever.
Okay, but hold on. Rewind. That's at the very end of the movie. Rewind all the way back to the beginning here. Let's talk about this, okay?
Okay.
So, very beginning of the movie, Thor's caged, right? And we see the events of Ragnarok set off. But I mean, it plays very well into what happened in Age of Ultron with his dreams and his visions. And so I liked I liked how that tied in. And then right after that, we had another awesome tie-in with the post-credit scene from Doctor Strange.
Yes. What did you guys think of that, of Doctor Strange's appearance? I know you're not as big a fan.
Of Doctor
See, and I'm a
Strange.
huge fan of Doctor Strange, but I know you're not into
the movie. I did not like Doctor Strange at all.
My little heart.
I know. I'm sorry.
Everybody's got to have opinions. It's cool.
But it was really cool to see Doctor Strange in this kind of way where we're finally past the stupid origin story, and we get to see him actually just using his powers and that whole
being really
scene,
good.
Yeah.
That whole scene, it was like almost hard to follow because you have to start thinking like Doctor Strange, and that you can just be anywhere instantly.
Especially in that house where he's just, oh, now we're here. And I love that it showed an effect on Thor where he's like falling on stuff.
Yeah.
I was expecting him to just like, dude, stop. What are you doing?
Great cuts. Great cutting there. I do feel like I said during my spoiler-free feelings of the movie, the heart of the movie's on Sakaar. It's with Planet Hulk, right? I felt like they rushed the beginning to get there. They're like, and this happened, this happened, this happened. Okay, now we can breathe. Now we're on Sakaar, you know?
And it did kind of have maybe a little bit of a lull in the middle, too, where we were on Sakaar, because everything just happened so quickly at the beginning, and then the end just kind of all explodes at once.
So what were you guys' favorite moments with the movie?
Favorite moment.
There's
you have
so
your
many.
you have your thoughts. So hit it. I know something's on the tip of your tongue.
There's so many. I mean, no, every joke works.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. And that's what they got when they hired Taika, and that's what he was able to bring to this movie. And all the stuff with Korg.
He was pretty funny.
If you don't know, Taika plays Korg in the movie, and he is absolutely
Taika
hilarious.
is a real rock monster. Is what we're saying.
He's really made out of rock.
Which is nice because this is the first time a rock monster has ever directed a movie before.
It's diversity.
Yeah, so it's really
paying
nice.
off.
Marvel, your points for diversity there.
But he's got kind of that same sarcastic humor that he's got in all of his other
Almost
movies.
a clueless humor. That's what made him so funny.
No, I liked Korg. I'm not going to lie though, not every joke landed for me. I felt like sometimes it was too silly. Because, I guess, this is the best. I was going to say this during my spoiler-free review, but I thought this might be too spoilerific. This was the best Thor movie.
Oh, hands down.
Out of 1, 2, and 3, this was the best Thor movie, in my own personal opinion. But Thor's tone changed so much, which did work very well. I mean, I love the colors, I love the shots, probably some of the most stylistic action scenes we've seen in a Marvel movie. But Thor was never like the funny guy. And so it was almost weird for me to have him be the funny guy. And also the thing with like the devil's anus, it still made me laugh, but I was like, is this really what you call it? That can't be.
See, and for me, the devil's anus thing made sense because of that world. I could see that's what they're in. I mean, basically, they're in a garbage dump.
They're getting crapped on by the devil.
Is where this world is, and so all of this garbage is falling through these portals, and so I can see the Grandmaster. Somebody, that's the devil's anus. And so for me, that didn't bother
then nobody will go.
If they called it that on Asgard, I would have had a problem with that.
Yeah.
But the fact that it was on Sakaar, where it's the devil's anus, it was like, yeah, that's what they would have called it. Because to me, it felt like it was one big bar fight. I mean, that entire planet was just a horrible, horrible place.
It's like Reno times 3,000.
I like Reno.
Then you'd love Sakaar.
All right, so you love the jokes.
Funniest Marvel movie.
Okay, so what was your? I was gonna say that with the silliness that you were talking about, that's actually how I felt about Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Is that some of the jokes took it a little bit too far.
Yep. I did.
And I would have liked to have had them tone back a
To
little
be
bit.
fair, I noticed myself laughing a lot in the theater, and I noticed that nobody else around me was really laughing.
I was laughing. I don't know what.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. It didn't feel like people were laughing. So maybe
the theater was empty.
it's
There
just
was
my
like
sense of
7
humor.
people in the whole theater.
That's the joy of going at 10 a.m.
Right.
on a Friday. Okay, so have you figured out your favorite part?
I gotta be honest. Part of me was bummed that we knew Hulk was going to be in this movie.
That would have been awesome. I was thinking the same thing.
Think how cool it would have been if they're talking about this champion and they're hyping him up, and then all of a sudden, freaking the Incredible Hulk bursts out, and you're just like, I mean, I had that reaction when I saw the trailer. You know, Thor's, yes! I had that same reaction. But how much bigger it would have been in the screen. But I loved Thor's fight with Hulk in the arena. It was, It was so good. It was fantastic.
It was better than Captain America versus Iron Man. It was better than Batman versus Superman.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
But it didn't have the emotional weight of either of those fights. The ones that you mentioned.
I think that's one of the things that made it so good.
Yeah, but action-wise, it was
that was one of the things that made it so good is that you knew, okay, well, they're not going to kill each other because eventually something's going to happen.
Right.
But the fact that it played off of so much emotion and so much groundwork that had been laid in those other movies, like the ragdoll scene, boom, boom, boom,
and
Loki's response,
yes!
That's how it feels.
PTS.
Big fan of the spool.
Yeah.
Tom Hiddleston rocked it as Loki once again. Duh.
Oh god, love his character. You can't not like him, even when he's being a dick.
No, that was the thing. He was so Weasley at the beginning, and I feel like we didn't get a lot of that in Thor: Dark World because he was just like imprisoned and tortured. But Loki's kind of a Weasley dude, so we had that. We had him pretending to be Odin. We had freaking Matt.
Okay, that's a huge spoiler. Okay, that's a huge spoiler.
No, that's my favorite. That's my favorite part of the movie.
When Thor arrives, that part where you've seen it, right? Because this is a spoiler cast.
Right.
The part where, if you didn't notice, fake Loki in the theater was Matt Damon.
And fake Thor was
Luke
Hemsworth.
Yeah, Luke Hemsworth, which is Chris Hemsworth's little brother.
That's
so it was freaking hilarious. Okay, well, so my favorite, I loved the fight between the two of them. I loved the ragdoll stuff. My favorite, actually, was probably what I think is the most emotional moment in that movie, which was when Hulk sees Black Widow on the screen, and he starts to freak out.
Yeah.
And I felt that emotion of him as he's trying to fight, as the Hulk is trying to keep control and doesn't want Banner, but you know that both of them have such a deep affection for her. To me, having that be the moment that turned him back into Banner was genius. It played so. Mark Ruffalo said that he's going to have a 3-movie arc.
Yeah.
That's going to be about the Hulk, and I saw that in that moment. I was like, okay, that was a beautiful moment. I also wonder, is Bruce Banner dead?
I don't know, because Banner kept saying, he's like, if I turn into the Hulk, I'm not going back. And at the end of the movie,
I'm just thinking from the fall, because he looks dead in the fall. He is broken, and his eye is open. I wonder if he is physically dead from that fall. Not just I'm lost in the Hulk, but where he is gone and the Hulk is all that's left now.
You'll have to wait for Infinity
I know,
War.
that's the thing.
I didn't think about
because
that.
That was a fall, and you see him just thunk. I mean, they didn't even cartoon it.
Yeah.
He just lands, and you see him just... And so I wonder if he is physically dead.
So you made me think about emotional moments in the movie, which brings me to a criticism that I actually had.
Okay.
I think that the moment where Odin dies should have had a lot more weight to it than it did.
Yeah.
It just felt like everything was so rushed because they had to get Hela in there. And they didn't get enough time to sit there as two brothers that have just lost their father.
Yeah, I did like Anthony Hopkins' moment with the two of them, saying how much he loved them, and that was one thing with having the three of them there and knowing, okay, Loki's done all kinds of bad stuff.
Correct.
And Thor used to be kind of a bad guy, but they've all kind of grown, and Loki less than all of them. But to have the father sitting there and saying, I love you guys.
I love you.
Yeah. And I thought that was really great. But I agree that afterward you didn't get that moment of them just being like, and I like that it started out with Thor wanting to kill Loki, where he's like, "This is your fault."
Yeah.
And
it wasn't.
And all the clouds roll in,
and you see him
can
starting to
feel the
access
emotion.
his. He's starting to access his power. But I like that because I was afraid it was going to be like one of the scenes where he goes, "I love you, brother." I love that he stood up and was just like, "I am going to kill you because my dad is dead and it's your fault." And that was a very brotherly response for me.
I agree, though. The repercussions of Odin's death weren't existent. It just, except for I'm going to kill you, and then Hela was there, and then after that it was, bam, 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 Hulk smash, boom, boom, yeah, that's how it feels. Valkyrie, bridge, wolf.
And there's a review of the entire movie right there.
That's exactly how the movie
That's the
went.
whole movie.
And then everything will be fine, brother.
Okay, so we've talked
that's the
about,
movie.
all right, so we've gone into all of our likes and dislikes and stuff. Okay.
Wait, there's one more like that I would like
one
to
more
touch
like.
on.
Give it up.
I really liked Valkyrie.
Oh, she was awesome.
I thought she was a great
fantastic.
character. She was great. And what was there was kind of a will they won't they between her and Thor, right? You saw them jump up. But I think, and I could be wrong, but I think Valkyrie is a lesbian in the comics, isn't she?
It depends on the universe, I think. I'm not sure. I thought she had, this was my thought, and this is what I was hoping was going to happen. I thought she had much more of a connection with Thor. Or not with Thor, with Hulk, with Banner. And I was like, that would be really cool if the two of them were to hook up.
Well, because in the comics, for Planet Hulk, when Hulk goes to Sakaar, he gets a lady friend.
He has a kid on Sakaar.
He has a
More
kid.
spoilers for the comics.
Yeah.
He does have a kid. Okay, so now that we've gotten to that, let's talk where we think things are going to go after that first post-credit scene. Obviously, the last post-credit scene was a joke, and it was a funny joke. It's a tie.
Jeff Goldblum was great.
Yeah, he was awesome. But let's talk about that moment. We're going to Earth, and everything's going to be wonderful.
Well, did
and
you
all
guys
of a
know
sudden,
that Jeff Goldblum's Grand Master is the
brother of the
Collector?
Yeah, I did know that.
Okay.
I was hoping they were going to reference it.
I know. I was surprised they didn't.
Yeah, which makes sense because they're both weirdos.
And they both have like
So,
the same.
Yeah, they both have the little lip
Hey, I
thing.
love that.
one. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
so-
they're brothers.
I was hoping for a thing because obviously the Asgardians have contact with the Collector because they dropped the ether off with him. Anyway, neither here nor there.
So where's it gonna go?
The big ship shows up. They're on their way to Earth. I was expecting them to get to Earth. About having that massive ship. Where do we think it's going?
Well, that's Thanos' ship.
Obviously.
Obviously.
And why is it stopping Thor?
I think I know
Because
why.
Loki
Because Loki has the Tesseract.
Tesseract.
Yeah. Yes.
They just get enough of that shot where he's going through the basement and he
And he sees it. No, you don't throw something like that in there.
No, you
unless
don't let
it's
that
important.
stuff get blown up. Oh, and I love the
Infinity
Infinity Gauntlet because you do see it in
Fake.
Thor, and they talked about it where they're like, oh, that'll be explained at some point.
It
And I
was
love where
with
she's
one
like,
line,
it's
fake.
fake.
Kate
Most of the
Blanchett
stuff
looked
in here
pretty
is
hot in
fake.
this, by the way.
Oh my gosh, that is the hottest I think she's ever looked in her life, and she's a beautiful woman.
Yeah. Yeah. So
She could stab
I
me.
know that's kind of objectifying, so I apologize.
No,
but
she's beautiful. I'll give
she
it that.
looked good. So I think Thanos stopped them mid-transit because Loki has the Tesseract, and we know that is the
No, that's the space
blue one.
gem.
No,
Yeah.
it takes it to.
It's the space one.
Yeah.
Is it
Space.
Oh.
It's space. Because it opens. It has all the energy, but it opens doorways. It is the space gem.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they have an Infinity Stone on board.
Yep.
We still haven't seen one of the Infinity Stones. We have yet
I
to
know.
see the
One
time.
has not been. Yeah. One. No
No,
time.
we have time. Duh, that was Doctor Strange.
And he's wearing the Eye of Agamotto. What? He's obviously very good now. Because he had it on.
Well, shoot. Now.
So I'm not. I don't really recall. I'm sure we'll get notes.
So
in the
I
comments.
think we're going to see obviously huge repercussions. That might be the first. Well, unless Thanos already has a stone.
He might have one already.
He might.
And that would explain.
I just hope it's not in Black Panther. I don't want Black Panther to be involved in that end of the, I don't want there to be an Infinity Stone
It
at
could.
Wakanda.
It totally could. Think about it, because they're technologically advanced. What
but-
if it's because of the
But
Infinity
that's
Stone?
true. But then all of the Infinity Stones have been on Earth, and it's like with all of this universe, they're having one planet.
Not all of them.
Oh, one hasn't.
That's right.
The one from Guardian of the Galaxy hasn't. No, I would be very disappointed if Wakanda had anything to do with an
agree.
Infinity
I
Stone.
agree.
Wait. Hold on. Time out. I just thought about something with the Tesseract.
Okay.
Oh, no, never mind. Loki's scepter had an Infinity Stone
Yes,
inside it, and that's
Mind
one
Stone.
Vision. Never mind. Okay, so yeah, Tesseract is... My bad. Yeah.
Okay. Well, there you go. It was a great movie.
Yeah.
At least just going to see it. And
see
if
it.
you haven't seen it, then you just got everything ruined for
Yeah,
you,
well, you really-
in this spoiler cast.
You really did.
And I'm not going to apologize because it is your fault.
We warned you.
All right. Well, we're going to have our episode
also-
of Geek. What?
I was not worried or felt any loss at all that Jane wasn't there.
No, not at all.
Oh, and I love the way they handled that too.
She dumped him. And you could tell from the interaction, it was like, yeah, she probably did. She just straight up
No,
dumped
she
you.
didn't dump me.
Yeah,
I dumped her.
I dumped her. It was a mutual dumping.
Yeah.
right.
This is... I'm sorry, Steve. I'm going to cut you off one more time
my
here.
gosh.
I know. This is proof, though, that what Marvel's doing with the universe works. If they would have just thrown this movie out here without all of the movies building up to it, then it would have been
been
what
weird.
the heck is Doctor
Yeah.
Strange? Why are you doing that? So like the fact that they can throw in all of these characters and references and Easter eggs and cameos and post-credit scenes and yada yada is they've earned it. They've been doing this for 10 years. They deserve to use any character they want at their disposal.
My question is, if you take all of those things away from it, is it still a good movie?
I think you took out Doctor Strange.
For me, it's like, let's say that this was the first Thor movie ever, the first Marvel movie. It would still be a good movie, but it wouldn't have the weight that it has. a lot of the stuff that happened in it wouldn't matter. We'd be like, oh, okay, it would be like an 80s action fest, which is what it was.
Yeah.
But it had weight because it is what is this, 18, 16, something like that? This is the 16th sequel. So
Of
this
Iron Man.
isn't the third.
Thor
I mean, it
movie.
is the third Thor movie, but in all intents and purposes, it is the 16th or whatever sequel in this Marvel universe.
Yeah.
And that's what gives it its weight. That's why all these movies have more weight than they should. The Black Panther movie will have more weight than it should as its own because it is the sequel to this massive story they've been telling, and it's wonderful.
So I think they deserve all of that, and people get mad that they're like, why would you put Falcon and Ant-Man? They deserve it.
I
It's
love all
great.
this stuff. That's what makes comics so much fun.
Yeah.
Is because you can have
know who will
Batman
pop up.
show up
True,
in Superman, Spider-Man can show
Very
up in
true.
Iron Man, and the fact that they're doing that with the movies is just turning that into an experience that now everybody enjoys. Because you'll see Doctor Strange and be like, it makes
I know
sense
that movie.
that he would be looking and Loki would show up and he'd be like, oh no, you're not.
No, you didn't.
I lived in New York
Let
when
me
you
slang
did. Yeah.
rang you real quick.
All right, so there you go. There's our first spoiler cast for Geek. I'd like to thank Andrew for joining us today. Thank
for
you very
having
much. In 2 weeks, we're going to be back for Justice League. And in a couple of hours, we're going to be back with this week's show. So,
It'll be great.
is it done yet?
No.
All right, well, so we got to get back to work. We love you guys. I'm Steve.
And I'm Cippy.
And he's Andrew.
And I'm Andrew.
We are Geek.